you for joining us for this virtual conversation about Be Internet Legends from Google and Parent Zone. Today we're going to be talking about helping your children to be safer and more confident online. My name's Chelsea and I'm part of Parent Zone's Be Internet Legends team. I've been teaching this in schools for about 3 years now, and I'll be stopping to respond to your thoughts and your questions as we go along. We've also got our expert Tim in the chat box, so feel free to ask any question that pops into your head. Remember, there is no such thing as a bad question. In fact, I'm going to be asking you some questions as we go along, so make sure that you've got those typing fingers ready. Now, just before we start, I want to check that everybody can see me and the pictures around me. In case the quality of your video isn't that good, I recommend pressing refresh in your browser. And whether you're watching on a phone or a tablet or a computer, you'll notice a little cog in the bottom right of your screen. So if you click on that and select quality, you can change the picture quality there, and that will help depending on whatever your Wi-Fi or your data can cope with. Now, this whole session will take around 30 minutes. We'll explain the first few minutes explaining what Be Internet Legends is and why it's more important now than ever. Then we'll move on to the Legends Code. So that's the 5 most important things for your children to remember when they're on the internet before thinking about digital well-being. So that bit will take about 10 to 15 minutes, and there'll be loads of opportunities for you to ask questions and share your experiences as we go along. Finally, we'll finish up with some fantastic resources like our amazing online game Interland and the next steps you can take from home. So, without further ado, grab yourselves a brew and we will begin. In a nutshell, Be Internet Legends is an internet safety programme developed by experts for schools and families. We've been teaching this in schools across the UK for about 3 years now, with a mix of interactive assemblies, really fun lesson plans and our great online game. And we've been doing all that at the moment virtually. So what we wanted to do today is share some of the tips and the techniques that we've developed for Be Internet Legends for you to use at home with your children if you want to. And Be Internet Legends is all about sharing, so I'd love to hear about all the things that are already working for you when it comes to supporting your kids online. So please drop any experiences in the chat box. So let me tell you a bit more about Be Internet Legends. It's a programme that covers the most important skills and behaviours that children need to be safer and more confident online. So we break this down into easy to remember things about internet safety, ways to develop good healthy habits, and ideas to make sure that they're confident explorers of the online world. Right now, I bet you're juggling loads of things at once. You might have your children at home and you're trying to look after them whilst trying to work, and of course you're trying to keep in touch with friends and family. It's a really tricky time, but you're definitely not alone. Across the world, 1.5 billion children have been at home because of the pandemic, and each of those families will have their own normals. So I'd love to know where you're tuning in from and maybe what your normal looks like right now. So feel free to say hello in the chat box, ask any questions, let us know how your days are looking these days. I'll have a look now just to make sure. Nothing in there now, but any questions, pop them in there. Tim is waiting and I'll have a look in that chat box in a few minutes too. But I wanted to share with you a question we've been asked a lot over the last few months, and it's this. Is it okay for children to spend more time gaming during lockdown? And what we always say is it's okay to relax some of the rules as long as you're keeping an eye on how it's making them feel and making sure that they've got a good online-offline balance. Wherever you are right now and whatever your normal looks like, Be Internet Legends is here to help your children use the internet safely and confidently whilst keeping an eye on their digital well-being at the same time. Now, the programme includes a full internet safety curriculum which has been developed with help from the police, psychologists, education experts and children's charities. Now, our research told us that we needed to focus on 5 key messages, so we created the Legends Code. Now, this is a really child-friendly way for your children to remember the 5 most important things to think about when they're online. So I'm going to go through each one. First, we've got be internet sharp, think before you share. Next, we've got be internet alert, check it's for real. Then we've got be internet secure, protect your stuff. Be internet kind, respect each other. And finally, we've got be internet brave, when in doubt, discuss. Now, before I pause to have a little look in the chat box, I just want to quickly introduce you to the digital wellbeing part of the programme. So we encourage children to think about how technology makes them feel, the positives and the negatives, and to really reflect on their own screen use. And this could be really helpful right now if they're spending more time online, and it might even help save some of those screen time squabbles some of you might be having. Right, let me have a little look in the chat. There's nothing there at the moment, but don't be shy. Any questions you've got, pop them in that chat box. Any tips or things that are working for you, do let us know. And apologies, I think I've just had a bit of a technical hitch there. In our game Interland, the villains are called the Internaughties. So whenever I have a technical hitch, I always blame the Internaughties. Hopefully this is working now. I'm just going to check in the chat box so Tim can... Oh, say hello to Cal. I'm back. Thank you. That's great. Apologies about that again. So I'll start off where I left off, and that was asking you if you have any questions. I'm inviting you to ask them and share your experiences. So hopefully we'll continue without a hitch now, because I'm going to take you through each part of the Be Internet Legends code. So the first part of the code is this: be internet sharp, think before you share. So this one's all about managing your privacy and protecting your personal information online. So we always tell children to think before they share. And whilst they're stuck at home, they might want to share more than they normally would, but it's just as important that they're careful as ever. Ooh, I think I've glitched again. Give me one moment, I will be back. Oh, my audio has been down. So sorry. Apologies for this. I'm going to whiz back because I don't know what you heard and I don't know what you didn't. I'm so sorry. Having terrible tech issues today from the internauties. So I'm going to quickly fire through this. So we'll keep it going. I'll get back with you. So be internet sharp. This one's all about thinking about what to share and what information should be kept private. So whilst your children are stuck at home, they might want to share more than they normally would, but it's really important that they're just as careful as ever. So really thinking about the backgrounds that are in any photos they're sharing or any video chats they're having, and have a conversation with your children. Really break it down with them about what information's okay to share and what information should be kept private. So really break it down, because there's some information that's okay to share with maybe close friends and close family that you wouldn't want to share with anybody else. So then maybe thinking about people they don't know online but maybe they online game with. What information should you be keeping with them and what information should you be keeping private? And then thinking about anybody else who's on the internet. Just checking you can all hear me in the chat box. Yep, I think you can. Okay, next part of the code is Be Internet Alert. So this one gives children the skills to be online detectives. So spotting the clues that something might be fake, or it might be misleading, or it could even be a scam. So in the assemblies, we teach children to check on any link before clicking on it. We also get them to spot the little padlock in the address bar. So if a website's got a closed padlock, it's a good sign that it's more secure and safer to use. We also taught to children if they're ever unsure about anything, they should check with you as their trusted adult for any help. Now, there are loads of scams and misleading stories going around during the pandemic, but we find when children know how to spot the clues, they can often spot them a mile away. Next part of the code is Be Internet Secure. So this one's all about protecting your stuff and keeping your information safe online. Hello, checking my sounds on. I am so sorry for our technical problems today. I'm going to continue to tell you about the part of the code about keeping your information secure. So I'm going to start from the top of this one. Hopefully I can get through the rest of it, but thank you so much for sticking with us. So the third part of the code is Be Internet Secure. So this one's all about protecting your stuff and keeping your information safe online. Now, there are some really simple security things you can do at home with your children, like creating a mega strong password. Now, a password needs to have at least 8 numbers, letters or symbols, and those letters need to be a mix of lowercase and uppercase letters. It needs to be something that's easy for your child to remember, but really difficult for somebody else to guess. So there's no point having maybe the name of your favourite sports team or your pet, because that's just too easy. We always tell children that once they've got their password, to keep it to themselves, so don't be sharing it with their friends. We also talk to children about the importance of having different passwords for different accounts, and make sure you're changing